Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time for another red hot cover call video. Well, hey, look, I'm back behind the mic, fired up. We got so much to talk about today. I'm going to try to get straight to it. Hey, look, if you've never been to my channel, what we do is talk about retirement income, how you can use the stock market, selling premium, writing cover calls, and selling cash secure puts to generate income, putting money on the table to pay your bills. That's what I try to achieve here. I try to do this every single month. God willing, I retire this year, and everything that I've done here at the channel is going to be needed because as we move forward, these stock markets are rocky, right? The Fed's going to be raising interest rates, which is going to slow economic growth. And of course, you know, Wall Street loves economic growth, and they absolutely bail on the markets when they're not getting that growth. So the important thing to do here is educate yourself, but most important, be inspired, motivated, because it's too easy to turn your head, not think about it, but hey, look, at the end of the day, the bills need to be paid. And that's why I am the man in the mirror for you. Okay, if you haven't been motivated or inspired to take your financial future in your hands, well, you came to the right YouTube channel because I don't fill you with a bunch of hype. What I try to do is show you my trades. We talk about them. So maybe you learn something and maybe you do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple things today, but most important, if you like anything you hear, I want you to subscribe to my channel. Come back every week, give you timely and relevant stock market trades so you can see them and then it can sink in. I know many of you do not have time to read boring ass covered call books. Quite frankly, you'll fall asleep within the first couple pages. Here, I take the approach that if I show you once, I show you twice. Next thing you know, you don't need me. And that's the important thing. Having success, right? That's the real goal here. Love it when I hear people having success, changing their life, watching a video I've done. Now, with that said, if you like what you hear today, I want you to bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now, what I'm doing is this. I'm answering the question, why am I not posting up my 2022 numbers, John? You've been doing this for the past 5 years, showing us how much you make on a monthly basis to get us motivated. Well, if you remember, I told you in 2021, I was going to have to take some unrealized losses. Taxed harvesting, for which I had to do. I did that in December. Now here's the deal. For the most part, I cannot touch the stocks that I sold, but a lot of those stocks I want to use. I have to not touch any of those stocks for about 31 days. Now, some people say the wash sale is 60 days, but once we get past around 31 days, we can start using them again. That's when we're going to take my unrealized losses from last year. We're going to drop them in to my disaster recovery spreadsheet, for which you can go to free spreadsheets here at the top of my website, cptdashboard.com. Click your disaster recovery spreadsheet. Let me show you exactly what it looks like and what mine's going to look like here in about 1 week. Now, I'll be quick with this if you've already seen this. My stock recovery plan is different from anything you see on YouTube. On YouTube, you're going to see videos where they tell you to buy a couple near-term options, sell a couple long ones, make sure you're managing them, spinning many, many plates. From my experience in the stock market, the one thing we need to do is realize those losses. But what we need to do is take the attitude that we're going to battle back. And we have to have a spreadsheet for that. What we're going to do is take those unrealized losses, understand and wrap our arms around that we are down. Look, we are not going to have FOMO anymore. I'm not going to be owning a stock like DraftKings at 60 and it's now trading for 20, having FOMO. If I do anything with the stock, it might rocket higher and I'm going to lose my money, man. I will be stressed, anxiety in the fetal position. We're going to take the approach that we're going to be proactive here. We're going to take that loss for taxes like we did last year, but now we're going to be proactive. Hell with FOMO. We're going to buy stocks right at the money covered calls, collecting the fattest premium. We're going to have our shares taken away, and we're going to battle back. Now, the disaster recovery spreadsheet helps you with that. It's very simple, but at the end of the day, you have to keep the numbers in front of you. That's the spreadsheet I'm going to use. And quite frankly, that is the playbook. That's the playbook for your recovery. Because when you see how much you're down, right? You had to realize those losses. Now you're battling back. You're using those great stocks to generate near-term covered calls, and we're battling back from the loss. Okay, we're not sitting on our hands hoping and praying that eventually a stock like DraftKings goes back to 60. I'm telling you, man, it's a mindset. It's an attitude. If you don't have it, you're going to find yourself just sitting back hoping and praying that your stocks eventually come back. And I'll tell you what, sometimes they don't. So that's why we're going to take the bull by the horns. We're going to do what we know how to do, and we're going to use covered calls and cash secure puts to take that negative number and slowly turn it into a new number. Now, we don't have to do multiple spinning plates with buying options, selling options, doing near term, this, that, and the other. What we have to do is be disciplined. Buy the great stocks, write the at the money cover call, wait for the trade to end. We generate that near-term profit, which is paying down our debt. But here's the hooker. We can actually take some of that near-term profit, that near-term 30-day covered call premium profit, and we can pay some bills. This is different from other stock recovery plans on YouTube. We have to pay the bills. We have to use the money we have to pay some bills, all right? The Verizon bill keeps coming. People still need to eat. It's a mindset. If you don't have it, I'm telling you, if you don't have it, you're not going to be successful. Whether you're in the stock market or not, you got to have the go get 'em half cup full attitude. Now look, that's what we're going to do in February. So you're going to start seeing my numbers again. Hey, look, I'm not afraid to show my numbers. Are you kidding me? I don't have to do anything for anybody. But what I do is I show you what I'm doing. I show you the numbers because that's the scoreboard for what we're doing, right? The scoreboard tells us the story of success. And when we sell those stocks and we take those unrealized losses, right now we're down. We got to battle back. Mindset. Stick with me in 2022. You're going to see a lot of these type trades and you're going to see us battle back. Okay? That's why I want you to subscribe to the channel. Get your free spreadsheets and make sure you stick with me in 2022. Now, real quick, before I get to the big trade for which I made 30% parking money, absolutely fearless, I'm going to show you that trade, and you can do that trade right now. You might make about 26%. I made 30% because I'm an opportunist. But what I want to show you is this. On YouTube, you have YouTube creators creating content to get you to clickbait, and ultimately, they make that YouTube money. You know, I don't know any of these guys here, but what I'll tell you is this. They get paid more money on their YouTube videos than they do trading. What I want to share with you, something I learned in 1987. I'll never forget it. I was in the Navy. I was on Liberty. I remember our ship was in dry dock, and I got in my car, and I'm listening to this stock market guy, right? He comes on every single day. He's an old guy, man. He is a veteran. And I'll tell you, man, I would just sit there and listen, man, try to take that knowledge in like a sponge. Loved hearing him talk. And I'll never forget, back then, the Dow just hit 2,000. Yeah, I'm that old. The Dow had just hit 2,000. He got on the radio and he said, I could care less if the Dow hits 2,000. I could give a hell if the Dow hits 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I could give a hell as long as my stocks go up. Now, if you absorb that for a second and understand what he's trying to tell you is this. Things can be happening in the stock market that don't affect you because you own specific stocks. Now, if you own a Dow ETF or an index fund, of course, it's great when the Dow hits 2,000 or 3,000. The point he was trying to make is this. Forget all the clouds in the sky. Focus on what you can and what you're involved in. See, that's the important thing. When you go on YouTube and you see these clickbaiters talking about 87% crash coming, the market is screwed, selling everything. Those guys absolutely are trying to clickbait you so they get that YouTube money. This is the kind of stuff that frustrates me largely because What I try to do is pay my bills, right? When I see these videos where these people are just trying to scare people, what it's going to do is it's going to change my mindset. I'm going to become more restrictive. I'm going to be less active. And to be honest with you, I won't be able to pay the damn bills, right? We stay laser focused whether we're up or down. Okay, that's the important thing. Man, if I can stress one thing, it's being half cup full, staying engaged. I've seen people take their 401k statements and drop them in the trash. That's not where we need to be. We need to be in a place where we understand the bills don't stop. We have to use our talent, our experience, and the stock market to generate that income. This is our part-time job in retirement, right? You got to keep going back to work, even if there's nobody in the store, right? I want you to have that mindset. Half cup full. What are we doing at the membership? A lot of things are happening in the market. The Nasdaq intraday last week fell some 17% from its all-time highs. That's correction area, and I'll tell you what, everybody was selling all the high flyers. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that I am down severely on Square. That's going to be another Alibaba for me. If you remember in 2000, I did a cash secure put on Alibaba at 180. It found itself at 140, and I was early assigned. Ended up battling back, writing covered calls, making 5% in 1 year. One of the most unsatisfying trades I've had to make in recent times. Now, that's where I might be with Square. I have a cash secure put at 150. The damn thing's trading at 110. But we'll work that. We're going to be half cup full, and we'll figure it out. Now, with that said, Intel hits my radar. And as you can see with the membership, I send constant emails. I love to send about 2 of them, show you a trade, give you some ideas. We are constantly trying to keep the ball moving forward. Whether it's Gilead, Citigroup, Nucor, 3M, we just keep the conversation going. And what I did this week with Intel having earnings, I sent the members a poor man's covered call idea. And the idea is this: Intel does exactly what it does during earnings. They run it up and then they sell it off. This is an absolute guarantee. I've owned Intel since 2011, been wanting to sell it since 2011, but the juicy dividend always keeps me in the game. Now, Intel did exactly what I just said. They had earnings. This thing was trading around 52, 53. They had earnings, crushed the stock. It's doing exactly what it has done. Yes, it sells off some 3 and 4 points. And to be honest with you, it shocks anyone that owns the shares. But here's the deal. Look at that support line. Even when they sell this thing off so big, it does have support. So let's look at that email I sent my members talking about the poor man's covered call. And if you download the free Poor Man's Covered Call Tracker, you could actually plug in those numbers and see what your time value cost is, right? Because look, minus the time value, when I buy the 2750 strike, minus the time value, and I pay the option, it's a 1-for-1, right? It's the time value that is the cost of your trade. You have to have a calculator that tells you how much you're paying for the trade. And when I dialed this up, notice what we have. 6 cents represented the time value. I mean, literally, you could buy the leap, do the 30-day, maybe 40 delta, and be profitable. And as you can see with this trade, if you did the 30-day 50 strike, you'd get paid $1.18 on 200 shares. 200 shares, because remember, Intel's trading for 48 bucks. 27.50, you could buy 2 leaps, and instead of doing 100 shares, you're doing 200 shares, doubling your profits. You would generate, if your shares are taken away, $476 on a $4,200 investment. That's kicking ass, doubling your profits. Now look, the members get poor man covered call trades all the time. Why? Because I'm building my $100,000 poor man's covered call portfolio, and I'm just turning those trades over and over and over. In fact, over on my Facebook group page, I showed them how many trades I've done in January. Go to Facebook, search CTP Dashboard, follow this page. Look at that. That's January. That's the most I've ever done in a month. Now, not the most I've ever done in terms of money, but what I'm doing is I'm using the poor man's covered call with great stocks. And what we're doing is generating constant income when we're managing those trades, writing the covered call. And as the stocks move one way or the other, we buy them back, we do it again. I'm always looking for opportunity. The members always see me working it. And that's how many trades we've done in January. And we still have Monday, for which I'm trying to buy back 2 options and then write 2 more covered calls, rolling them forward for a credit if I can. Look, go to ctpdashboard.com, click upgraded dashboard, join me. I got a 1 free month offer for you. Now here's the star of the show. I did promise that 30% trade for 361 days. I'm literally parking money. If you've been with me in 2020 when the stock market was absolutely crashing, you may have remembered I used UPRO, UDOW, and the TQs, and I sold at the money cash secure puts, collecting some 27, 28%. Yes, cash on cash. We were able to upfront the cash, and we were going to let it sit there for an entire 10 months. It was 10 months at that point. They paid us upfront cash money on the table. That money represented 29%. And as the stock market rebounded and moved higher, of course, that cash secure put option for which I was paid some $17, $18, $19 started to dwindle. Let's go ahead and look at the email I sent to the members. Then I'll show you the trade that absolutely will blow your mind. $4,800 pocketed 2 weeks ago when the markets were capitulating. Instead of doing YouTube videos where I'm talking about the market falling and I'm selling all my stocks and I'm hiding in the basement, we were taking action. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm knocking down 30% for a 1 year parking money on the sidelines. Now, this is what I sent out to the members. I said, hey, look, there is hellfire in the stock market. And to be honest with you, this is when we take these moments as opportunities. And the opportunity was this. With TQs falling, this is the Nasdaq, this is the 3X leverage ETF of the Nasdaq, with this thing falling into the 50s, I think it got down to 52, 51. There was an opportunity to sell 361-day cash secure put at the money. I went ahead and did that. They paid me $17.10. This is absolutely unbelievable because when you get paid $4,800, because I did 300 shares, that's $4,800 in my wallet right now today. And all I have to do is wait for 300 days for this trade to mature. Now, the important thing here to understand is this. We're doing this as the stock market is correcting. It's more likely that the markets will go higher than lower. And even if they did, we have time, right? The only fear in this trade for me is that the overall markets continue to tank. And at some point, the person that bought this insurance wants to assign me their shares at 52. Now, I'll tell you this. That's highly unlikely considering the markets are already down 17% at this point from their highs. It's more likely the markets will go higher. So we're doing this at the very bottom. Now I'm doing an at the money strike because I want the most possible premium. I have an entire year. Even if TQs falls from 52 to 42, my take is over the summer and into that January 2023, the stock market will recover and it'll finish above 52. I won't be assigned the shares. I pocket 17 full dollar bills per share. Did this on 300 shares. Let's go ahead and look at the trade just to show you how we do it at the membership. Now, every single member gets my emails, every single trade I do. Everybody talks about P&L and showing P&L. Look, if you're a member, you get every single trade in and out. And I always post my entire year's trades in the upgraded CTP dashboard. Now, with that said, members get these emails. Check this out. This is the trade. 361 days. I use the TQs, which is a 3X leveraged ETF to the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is actually getting destroyed. And this is where we want to use this opportunity. It's at the bottom, right? The likelihood it's going to bounce off the bottom and move higher. This premium I received, which at the time of the email, I guess I could have got 17. I ended up getting 16 and I get $4,800 deposited into my account. This is a 361-day trade, and it expires January 2023. I only invested $15,750. So think of this for a second. I set aside $15,750. I don't touch it for one full year. I make 30% when the market is getting destroyed. Where are you making 30% when the markets are getting destroyed? And that's exactly what I like to do when the markets are getting ripped a new one. Now, this is very unique. And if you did this right now, I did some numbers where you'd only make about 26%, meaning if you went out, sold, and at the money cash secure put on the TQs, you would only make about 26% for a year. Very important. Do this on a down day because you want those cash secure put premiums to be juicy. If you're doing this on an up day, you're not going to get as much premium for your puts. Right? Puts get fatter when the stock market's falling. That's why we want to use it. We want to understand what the cash secure put is. And to be honest with you, we profit from the markets tanking. Now, one last thing before we move on. Notice that even if I'm assigned the shares, my cost basis, if I elect to use that money for cost basis reduction, is $36.50. Think about that for a second. The market would have to tank even further. We would absolutely be in crash territory 1 year from now if I'm assuming shares, TQs is trading at $36.50. So again, the likelihood of this happening is less likely. We take that risk to be paid 30% cash on cash for parking money for 361 days. Do not miss out on the 1 free month offer. You're missing all these emails I'm sending and all these trade ideas you could take. Okay? And here's the thing. You can ask me about the trades because when you sign up, you have access to my email. I will answer your emails. And that's the true value because having done thousands of trades, seeing every situation that you could possibly see, having success and failure, I can tell you exactly what I think's going to happen and give you some good ideas. Go over to ctpdashboard.com, click upgraded dashboard, get your 1 free month. I would love to welcome you aboard. Hey, look, we're going to leave it there. My next video is going to be even better. I have 3 new covered call stocks I'm going to show you. You'll want to be a part of it. Subscribe, like this video. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy. Most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.